What's popping, my pimples? Welcome back to Wallace into the Probabilityverse. I just got back from the finale of the amazing digital circus in theaters, and I want to give my non-spoiler thoughts before going a little more unfiltered with it. Now, like a lot of you, I've been watching the series since the start, but I've always engaged with it in a more casual sense. I never really followed the theories, I wasn't taking in much fan content outside of fan art and that gif where Pomni slaps Regatha's ass. All in all though, I watched from episode to episode, and that's the most I really engaged with the series. Which is why I enjoyed the finale as much as I did. It works best by turning off your brain and not thinking too hard about things. Because the more I started thinking about it afterwards, the more questions I was left with. Speaking of questions, are you subscribed to the channel yet? You should be if you know what's right for you. But enough with the vague threats, I want to roll things back a little bit. My movie-going experience was pretty fun. It was a completely sold-out show. Funnily enough, I got like the last available ticket for the 7 p.m. screening at my local theater, but that left me right beside the wall near the very back. I went by myself and chatted things up with the stranger beside me. A lot of people came in cosplay of glitch shows, not just Digital Circus, and the audience itself, a bunch of middle to high schoolers. But hey, credit where it's due, it did not smell in there. Surprise. Now, actually watching the movie, these guys were yappers. Now, be it with episode 8, they'd already seen it before, so they didn't really care as much about missing anything, but the owner of the theater had to come in twice and literally pause the movie because my theater kept yapping. I feel as though this is the first time I've truly experienced that whole like theater etiquette is dying argument, but alas, I still had a fun time. It was cool hearing these kids get excited, and not to mention how many of them were crying throughout. But I get it, man. This is like their defining piece of media from their teen years ending. And it felt really special getting to share that experience with all these kids because I had that experience with shows like Gravity Falls when I was growing up. All around though, I had a good time. I wish I took really any photos while I was there, but I didn't. Onto the finale in itself, and again, I'm not talking about spoilers just yet. It was good. I was lucky enough to somehow avoid all the spoilers online, so I got to go in completely blind. For fans of the series, if you're more invested in the characters, I think you'll get what you want out of this, but if you're more interested in the world itself and its rules, you might walk out a little bit disappointed. I think my issue is just that things do get kind of confusing. For just as many loose ends that are tied up, it felt like I was still left with questions or things I was unclear about, and in your show's finale, that's something you really don't want. Still though, for how many things need to be answered, I think Gooseworks and the team did a good job. I walked out the theater very satisfied, and I recommend you go see it if you get the chance. Otherwise, I think it'll be just as good on YouTube. Now, I'm gonna ease into spoiler talk with a non-plot related spoiler, since my favorite part of this whole finale is specifically tailored to me, and I doubt anyone's gonna be talking about this in their reviews or their thoughts. So yeah, this is like non-plot spoilers, and then I'm just gonna get full on into it. So anyone who knows me knows that I have like this holy trinity of white boys who do electronic music. It's like Porter Robinson, Madion, and Bowen. So for me to hear an original Bowen song made for this movie, I walked out a changed man. Now you need to know, Bowen, for the uninitiated, he's behind songs like My Time, that was in like Amori, Everyday, and Pale Machine, all coming from his album with the same title. While he still releases music, he's mostly in the background producing for other artists or producing songs for video games. Like seriously, I have not heard this man sing on a non-remix of a song since 2018. So to hear him sing the song Too Much For You, like genuinely, that was my highlight of the whole like experience. I'm not even joking to you. I am such a huge fan of this man's work, and I can't wait for the official release. Speaking of music, dude, I felt so bad. I burst out laughing hearing that Isn't She Lovely cover. Be it, you know, it's a very emotional moment. I don't think they were playing into it as seriously, but man, that just shows Glitch has like FU money to be licensing out a Stevie Wonder song, even if it is just a cover. Like, crazy. Last non-plot spoiler, at the very start of the screening, having Zach Hadel return as the orange fish to deliver a PSA is one of the funniest bits they could have done. The part where he's like, usually Kane does these things, but he can't because he died. And he just like starts praying for him. It was a fun callback, but I'm also just happy seeing Zach Hadel in anything. Also, the fact Palos Fish also gets a little cameo, be it just a voiceover, just made me happy. Okay, having them deliver the whole like, oh, turn off your phones and don't talk and spoil. It was a very fun time. Okay, I'm gonna rip off the band-aid with spoilers here and just go full on spoiler chat. This is more of a collection of like loose thoughts rather than a cohesive play-by-play and thoughts on every little thing. So it's gonna be messy, it's gonna be out of order, gonna be jumping all over the place. Just letting you know that now. Watching Jack's abstract felt like such a good conclusion to his character arc. After all the things he's done in the show, all the problems he's caused, just getting closure on his arc with what happened between Ribbit and Kaufmo, finally seeing him open up and having him abstract at the end felt like a very good payoff to his arc. The way it's treated as just happening also felt really satisfying to me. Like it wasn't a big deal because the cast just kind of forgets about him as he just keeps pushing everyone away. Kind of felt like he got his comeuppance for how poorly he treated everyone and kind of being in a sense an antagonist. Like he can never fully be there with everyone else in the circus, but at the same time, he isn't totally killed off either. And again, we get closure on his whole arc, his whole backstory, his thing with his mom. I like that. I think that was closed well. But for anyone who knows a Jax fan, check up on them. They're going through it right now. On a completely different topic, man, it took way too long for it to click with me that the characters are actually NPCs. I didn't realize that until, I kid you not, the very end. I literally had to turn to the person beside me and be like, hey, so are they NPCs? Again, I could just be dumb and illiterate. I just wish they flat out said we're NPCs or just confirmed that with the audience. But man, what a dark reveal. I am glad that at the end of things, we, alongside the cast, get to learn about their real life selves, what they get up to, where their stories end and everything. That post-credit scene where all the cast is at a bus stop. Mind-blowing moment for a lot of people in the theater. I think Kane having a change of heart and everything, I don't know if it felt fully earned. I was a bit confused on that. And how he just kind of pulls the evil out of his head and the evil is the blue one. And again, a bit confused about that. Another completely separate topic. Aaron Hansen voicing Kaufmo. I was just working on a video on why Sonic fans kind of hate this man. So crazy timing. He does really good in this though. Just hearing him in his natural register as opposed to him doing his usual silly goofy voices. He did really good here. I'd actually like to hear him in like more projects just using this voice. And then one last just kind of footnote. Damn, do these people love to cry. It feels as though every couple of scenes, somebody's shedding tears throughout this. It felt like I was watching Your Lie in April all over again. It was just getting to a point where I'm just thinking, you know, some of you guys just need to tough it out. Is put those tears back in. Very emotional for the characters. Very emotional ending. Have my questions, but all around was satisfied. Seeing how far this show and series has come is truly incredible. Like I said earlier, this series is a generational defining piece of media and has made such a big impact on indie animation as a whole, and seeing it end does fill me with a bit of melancholy. I'm glad it got an ending to begin with and that it was satisfactory. I've seen so many people just in public with different pieces of TADC merch, whether it be keychains, clothing, even plushies. It's truly difficult to put into words just how big of an impact it's had, and I'm so grateful for it. Growing up online in the 2010s, my equivalent to TADC was Ruby. I bought the merch, watched the show religiously. Hell, I was out here reading fan fiction about the characters and engaging in shipping wars. I was able to catch the seasons in theaters as these special events, and it was magical for me. Seeing this next generation of kids getting to have that same experience, but for this series, and I don't know, man, I just love living vicariously through this next generation as a whole. I just hope that they learn to respect the creators of these shows going forward. Gooseworks, who's the head of Digital Circus, has been put through hell because of this show's fan base. And I'm scared that, hey, if this next generation doesn't learn, they're gonna burn so many talented creators with amazing stories to tell. So please, if you're watching this, give flowers to those whose work inspires you and just touches you. Maybe not literally, I'd tell an adult if that was the case. And please, don't harass those who you don't agree with, or there's a plot point you're unhappy with. You know, you can share you're unhappy with it, but don't go harassing the people behind the show itself. The Amazing Digital Circus, what a way to go out. I'm so glad that it got a theatrical release for its finale. It's a one last hurrah for a show that legitimately changed the animation industry forever. I can't wait for its release on YouTube so I can watch it over again. But until then, let me know in the comments below. What do you think of the finale? And will you be listening to Bowen's music after this? Spoilers, you should. Thanks to my patrons who make videos like this possible, and you for watching. Okay, bye.